In this video, I've got 3 drivers from 3 leading manufacturers in the golfing world. I play for 11, so I fit nicely into the mid-handicap bracket. I'm going to find out which one of these 3 drivers is the most forgiving. First driver, Titleist GT2, relatively new to the market, all 2025 releases. Very good looking club, very good manufacturer. Titleist's rival, or TaylorMade's rival, whatever way you want to look at it. But up next, TaylorMade Qi35, the older brother, the newer version, the Qi10. And lastly, Ping G440, the older brother and the advance to the Ping G430 10K, probably known as one of the most forgiving manufacturers. We'll start the video with some on-course feedback and information, and then we'll go and crunch some numbers down at the range. I'm not the best driver of the ball, so we should see some dispersion, particularly some hit marks all over the faces, so some good feedback for those fellow hackers out there. So we'll move into feel, which is the first point I'm going to talk about. To be honest, I think all 3 of these feel pretty good. I think the Qi35 and the G440 for me have a bit of a lighter feel, and I feel like the GT2 seems a little bit more player orientated. When I look down, the head smaller, and for me, I can see little of the face compared to the other 2. The Ping's a lot more shallow. This GT2 is quite deep as well. For me, I prefer the shape of the other 2. But off the face, they feel like they want to launch a little bit more. This feels a little bit hotter, the GT2, but for me and how I want to feel in a driver, I want to feel something that feels light-headed, quite shallow, and then obviously looks like it wants to launch straight off the bat. Right, let's have a look. Qi35. That was hit out of the hill. That's going to stay in play, which is pretty much what we're looking for. GT2 again. Oh, that felt good. That was nuked. No complaints there. If you could see that, that is absolutely roasted out the middle. Remember what I said on the other tee box as well, this is hot off the face. So when you do catch it in the middle, it flies a mile. I haven't seen that many people gaming the G440. Is it as forgiving? Oh, that is nuked again. So what I said about the launch on this and the Qi35, that was hit out of the middle, similar to the Titleist. Different launch, and whereas it comes to forgiveness as well, I did play a 10K before, and I felt like I could just hit it anywhere on the face, and I was consistently going to get a ball in play. Right, Qi35, I actually find this to be one of the better looking drivers on the market this year, if I'm being honest. I like the black designer series, wasn't a fan of the gold and silver, and obviously they brought out Ryder Cup as well, so there's loads of options if you want to go for this driver. I do like, however, the way it sits at address. I like the width of the head. I don't like a small crunchy, like I said about the Titleist head. For me, it looks too player-esque and too compact. I hit this Qi35 again. I've hilled this a few times and it's been relatively forgiving, to be fair. It's good to see it end up in the fairway. Healy again. I love looking at the face. I can see I've hilled it, and I love seeing the ball bounce in play. So far, I haven't actually hit this Qi35 out the middle, but there's not been a single lost ball. So for me, as a mid-handicapper, I think that is optimal. Again, I think the Qi35 falls into like a lighter headed model. It doesn't seem to be like loads of weight in there. Some drivers can be heavier. This, for me, feels lighter when I'm swinging, but this is notably light, and it feels quite nice as you're swinging relatively fast or attempting to. Oh, that was actually a bad one. That was a bad one. That one was OB. There'll be no driver face in the world that could save that. Wind off the left as well, off the hill. Right, moving on to Ping, which is probably known as the most forgiving driver amongst all levels of golf. I would say if there was a poll put out, this will come out as a resounding top for what people interpret as the most forgiving. And I would probably agree with that. I played the 10K for a little while, like I mentioned, and it was very and extremely forgiving. I haven't actually hit the G440 too much, and I do wonder how much forward can we move in its forgiveness. It looks pretty similar from the top, exactly the same, I would say, but obviously blue detail now on the bottom instead of lime. Let's hit a couple on this tee box, and then I'll be the judge of if it seems more forgiving than the 10K. I mean, it's banged down the middle. I think I've hit that high-ish, and half a ball towards the toe. That did not move an iota left or right. That didn't go left, right, start left or right at all. That was bang down the middle. You lose a little bit of distance because of how high it launched. I almost want to hit it heely or toey and just see how it performs. I love that launch. Straight up, but so forward as well. You've stayed away from the danger here. There's a load of gorse down the right, so that puts, for any level of golf art, that's off-putting. So far, I would say, out of the two we've hit more in depth, G440 is sitting at the top of the forgiveness pile. No surprises. Arguably the most popular golfing brand, I would say, on the planet. Maybe TaylorMade sneaks in there, but amongst my peer group and the people I've spoken to in the golf game, probably say one of and the current most popular brand in the game. Very popular driver as well. A little bit more expensive. I'm pretty sure Titleist comes in a bit more expensive, but a bit more elegant design. Smaller head. I'm not really a fan of that address. It's a bit more player-esque for me and a bit more old school. I don't like looking down at that compact, small circle shape almost. Winds off the left. Be interesting to see where that's gone. So that's left side of the fairway, slight fade. Talked myself out of it. Although saying that, that was nice to see. It started looking like it was smashing off to the right. I honestly, truly think that is still right side of the fairway, but just gone nowhere because I've skied it. That's all well and good, hitting all of these balls out on the course and seeing where they land, which is great. All of them have felt good, but we'll get to the range, we'll crunch some data, we'll actually get some numbers, see if there's any difference in speed, any difference in carry and forgiveness, and then obviously, like any true mid-handicapper, we'll see the sort of dispersion, not where they land, but on the face. We are actually so frail. It's actually embarrassing. Right, to finalise, we'll finish on the facts and the figures with the Titleist. We do get feedback. I've hilled all of them and relatively high. That's a horrible dispersion across the face. That's like 28 handicap. So you can see I definitely do slot into the mid handicap. Although results were fine. I would say that 3 out of 5 would probably be fairway, 4th potentially not, and then 5th just skied up in the air fairway but just hasn't gone anywhere. The swing speed in that I've actually nicely kept all within the same. So the testing protocols were as fair as could be. Not as forgiving though. Like I said on the tee box out on course, nowhere near as forgiving. I was hitting it in the hill similar to the ping, so I've hit them all in similar position across the face and didn't feel as forgiving. And definitely when I hit a bad one, I was a little bit scared. You know that mid-handicap feeling where you hit a drive and you just gulp before you look up and you think just calmer, just stay in play. If I had the option out of these 3 to game, and only these 3 drivers in the world of golf to game, what would I game and why? I started off thinking I would probably go Qi35. I'd hit them on the range a little bit off camera. I now have been convinced, or I've convinced myself to probably go ping. I think the ping G430 10K was an absolute optimal driver for mid-handicappers. I think the G440 has not lost any forgiveness in terms of from 10K to this. The Qi35 was the longest, so like I said, if distance is what you're looking for, and it definitely was forgiving, don't let anybody tell you that it's not a forgiving driver, but if you're looking to drop off a little bit of distance and definitely bring your dispersion in, play ping. Westy from the Golf Supply. Thank you all for watching. There'll be more to come. There'll be more in-depth reviews from Ash, who plays off scratch, and he will try and middle a few drivers and maybe see what's longest and best for the lower handicapped players. Then continue to watch our stuff, like, comment, subscribe. It means the world. We love you all. Thank you very much. Out of these 3 drivers, play ping.